Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going down a rabbit hole, a mathematically fractured rabbit hole. We usually think of the universe as being governed by precise laws, predictable and orderly, expressed through the language of mathematics. But what if I told you there's an algorithm that throws all of that into question? An algorithm that hints at a universe far more chaotic and, well, postmodern than we might imagine. And, importantly, why that breakdown of perfect order might actually be a good thing. We're going to connect the dots between chaos theory, the limits of computation, and the core ideas of postmodernism. Let's start with the concept of an algorithm. It's essentially a set of instructions, a recipe for solving a problem. We use algorithms all the time, from searching the internet to recommending videos, like this one. We expect them to be precise, deterministic, give them the same input, and you'll always get the same output. But what happens when we introduce complexity? Enter chaos theory. Chaos theory isn't about randomness. It's about systems that are highly sensitive to initial conditions. The classic example is the butterfly effect. A butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil could, theoretically, set off a chain of events that leads to a tornado in Texas. These chaotic systems are governed by deterministic equations. There's no randomness involved, but their behavior is unpredictable in the long term. Tiny, immeasurable differences in the starting conditions lead to wildly divergent outcomes. This challenges our traditional notion of predictability in a fundamental way. Think about weather forecasting. We have incredibly powerful computers running sophisticated models, but we still can't predict the weather perfectly beyond a few weeks. That's because the atmosphere is a chaotic system. Our models, however complex, will always be approximations, and those tiny inaccuracies get amplified over time. And then there's the concept of fractals. These are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. Think of a coastline. The closer you zoom in, the more detail you see, and that detail looks similar to the larger structure. Fractals pop up everywhere in nature, from snowflakes to tree branches, and they are a beautiful visual representation of chaotic systems. These ideas, chaotic behavior, the limits of computation, the emergence of complex patterns from simple rules, have profound implications. They suggest that even in a deterministic universe, there are fundamental limits to what we can know and predict. So, how does this all connect to postmodernism? Postmodern thinkers challenged the idea of a single, objective, universal truth. They emphasized the role of subjectivity, the idea that our understanding of the world is always filtered through our own perspectives, biases, and the limitations of our language and knowledge systems. Postmodernism also highlighted the fragmentation of knowledge. Instead of one grand, unifying narrative, we have a multitude of perspectives, interpretations, and ways of knowing. This resonates with the idea that even within mathematics, there are limits to what we can definitively know or compute. The algorithm that broke the universe, in a sense, is the realization that perfect predictability and complete knowledge are illusions. Chaotic systems, with their inherent unpredictability, demonstrate that the universe is far more complex and nuanced than any single model can capture. And this is where the why that's okay part comes in. The postmodern embrace of uncertainty, of multiple perspectives, isn't a cause for despair. It's a recognition of the richness and complexity of reality. It frees us from the rigid constraints of trying to force the world into neat, predefined boxes. Instead of striving for a single, definitive answer, we can embrace the ambiguity, the dynamism, the unpredictability of existence. This doesn't mean abandoning reason or science. It means recognizing their limitations and embracing a more humble, more open approach to understanding the world. Host, the broken universe, the one revealed by chaotic algorithms and the limits of computation, is actually a far more interesting universe. It's a universe where creativity, adaptation, and emergent phenomena can flourish. It's a universe that invites us to explore, to question, and to continually revise our understanding of what is possible.